What's the deal, Stack fam? Y'all know who it is, and if you don't, it's your boy KSTACCS. I'm a binary options and a futures day trader, documenting the real live process of building financial freedom through day trading. So we just wrapped up a trading session this morning, Thursday the 16th. I'm about to show y'all the recap. Make sure y'all stay tuned for more. And until then, stack it up.
What's that deal? All right, so as y'all can see, we on GJ. Starting off, we at the London high of the day. Also look like we coming up on a New York high. As y'all can see, it's about 6:50 in the morning, Thursday, July the 16th. Looking for a sell. We see price hiking upwards. Stochastic. The stochastic, whenever the stochastic is down at the bottom, whenever you have the stochastic above the 80, it's basically saying price is overbought. So when STO is high, we sell. And when the STO is low, we buy. Because it really wants to be in the middle. It wants to be in the average of it, the middle of it. So anytime it gets too high, price could potentially, or the strength of the push could potentially be fading. It could be getting exhausted. Although it looks like here, it continued to push. So that's just why you have to be careful going against the trend. When you're trading against the trend, you never know. You always want to, there's multiple different type of traders. So I'm not going to say you always want to trade with the trend, but you definitely want to probably trade with the overall trend on the higher time frame rather than just the lower time frame. But as you can see here, we setting up a pending trade. Just scanning the markets, seeing what we got headed up to GJ still. We see we got a signal for Euro USD. Just popped up. But now I'm liking what I'm seeing on, I believe it was Euro AD. Okay, yeah, all CAD headed up to potentially that 200 EMA. We love the EMA. That's basically the moving average or the average of where the candles have been or where they want to be. So anytime you see it below the EMA, you usually want to be selling because that's a trend. That's the trend of what the EMA is saying. And if it's above the EMA, you want to be buying. And as y'all can see, our pending trade went ahead and opened. We got a huge bullish push all the way up to that EMA. But that wick itself is confirmation to let us know that, as well as the signal we got up there at 658, but to let us know that that was a liquidity sweep. Price was exhausted. As soon as it did that push, it pushed all the way back down. You see where price started, where the candle opened, all the way up to the EMA. And we went ahead and had our pending trade be for 1 minute, a little bit higher of a unit size trade. We went with 12% because we did take a loss on that first trade. We've been doing really well this week. So now we just seeing what price is looking like. Looks like price might push past it. And that's what it does, man. You win some and you lose some. But you keep your account size right so that you can live to trade another day. I would trade that same setup, 10 out of 10 times. But as you can see, we get another signal for the RCAD. But if you did pay attention, I believe it was at 70%, the pair percentage. And as soon as we got into the trade, it bumped up to 80. And what that tells me is that there's more volatility, there's more volume, more people are hopping onto this pair now that it's broken structure. So this is where you got to change your bias mid-trade instead of revenge trading and trying to continue to go for the sale. No, we seen that price broke its structure. So now what are we going to do? We're going to adjust to it and we're going to go with the trend. We're going to double down on a buy because it broke the 200 EMA structure. And you see it hasn't made a single. So if you look at 612 down there by the stove on the stochastic, price went up there, and as soon as it touched the top of the stochastic line, it dipped down. But as you can see now, we over here around 7 o'clock. It's hovering over that stochastic line. So that'll let you know, that'll be an indicator that, okay, price is trending. It's moving in that, it's continuing to move in that direction. As you can see, it's still moving upward on the stoch. So even though price is through the Keltner channel, it broke the structure of the EMA, letting us know we had to flip our bias and now go with the trend. And as we get small amounts of pullback, let's see how it finishes. And as y'all can see, took profits there. Now let's continue to scan this market, see what we see on these charts. I like this right here on Euro AUD. We have price meeting what looked like a low of the day, but we still just continuing to scan. Want to make sure that we get in the very best trade that we can get. Now we've moved on to Friday. This is going to be Friday's trading session. So the day before we went 2 for 2, 2 wins, 2 losses on that Thursday. Pretty much broke even on Thursday. Now we're seeing what we can do here on Friday. You see we got double bottoms right above the EMA. And what looks to be a bullish engulf. So meaning price, as you can see, it's hovering above the red line, continuing to go upwards in a bullish trend, an upward trend. And that small pullback of those few red candles begin to create a bull flag. So meaning you can't really see it because the dollar amount or the trade unit is right where the flag is beginning. But price will eventually, on that last red candle, price will engulf that red candle with an even bigger green candle in a different direction, in the other direction, to continue going upwards, just gaining momentum. As you'll see, we took profits on the first one. Should take profits on the second one. Let's see. And we took profits on the second one to be able to get momentum to continue to go upward. So it basically was just like a smash and grab. It took the momentum of what the bearish traders were doing, going against the market, and it used that as leverage to be able to then have momentum to continue going upwards. So we 2 for 2 on Friday, continuing to set up our zones, continuing to see if there's anything that we like. We got on a little bit late today. It was about 9 o'clock when I started trading, and what I've realized over this week is around 6 o'clock, 6:30 about to open, the pocket option market, the percentages dip a tad. And I think that's because the futures market is opening. So that's where volatility is going. That's where price is going. But we're looking to get into a buy here. You see price reaching that EMA. Euro USD was very volatile today. I'll say that to say the least. And as you can see, we went with the 5-minute trade today instead of a 1-minute trade, trying to capitalize on the volatility. So don't feel stuck to one way of doing things. As you can see, our trade gets confirmed with a signal. We got a signal for it to go upwards with Euro USD. As you can see, it's at the 200 EMA, meaning it wants to be above that. You see, we got pushed upward into the bullish direction, but then it consolidated back down last second. Let's see if it'll hold. And then we got a pretty huge, pretty big bearish trend or push at the end of that trade. And then it pulled right back up. It be like that sometimes though, so don't even stress. Now we just scanning the markets, but I will say today, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mondays and Fridays are trend days. Trend days for sure. Basically setting the highs and the lows of the week. It's has a bunch of things to react off of. So it usually does that, and it continues to go in the direction that it's reacting against. Just got a signal for USD JPY, and although it's not on one of my favorite pairs up there, I went ahead and checked it out because I do like it. And this is beautiful right here. We got a major downtrend with a double top up there at the top. But if you see the candle right before had that huge wick, letting us know that the downward trend was exhausted. And on top of coming back up to the 200 EMA, so it was respecting that 200 EMA up there while being outside of the Keltner channel, let us know that we have a very high chance of it pushing back above, which is doing now. As well as you can see on the market context on the signal, the 15-minute is going downward, the 1 hour is going downward, but the overall 4 hour is going upwards, and it's above the 200 EMA. So, you know, when it's above it, we buy. When it's below it, we sell. As well as if you look at the stochastic, the stow is low, so we buy. We were able to take profits there. As it continues to push upwards. So we up on the day. We up on the day for sure. Now I'm just scanning through the market, scanning through the pairs to see what else is there. I came here to Euro GBP, seen this major downtrend. As y'all can see, Friday's trending. Expecting pullback. You see the stow is low, so we buy. It's continuing to, you see how the stochastic was sitting underneath the yellow bar, the 20 at the bottom for a good amount of time. Now it's heading back upwards, as well as the long wick on that candle was an indicator for us that it was going to reverse. It's almost the whole trend is outside of the Keltner channel. And if you want the stochastic settings, the stochastic oscillator settings are 14, 3, and 3, as you can see right there. It's looking like we're going to take profits here. So that's back-to-back W's right there. Having a good Friday so far. Human instinct kicked in. That number, you know how I speak about not wanting to get to a specific number, just following your rules and following what you do. I seen that 200 in my head for the account size. You don't want to look for a trade, even though it's 10 o'clock. Could have very well been happy and content with the profits that I already had. But I did figure we had a great week, up positive on the week. Size a little bit, why not try to take a few more risks because of the leverage that we have built up within the account, within what we've been doing for the whole week. So although we are leveraging a little bit more and we're taking a few more trades, the confidence is built up from what we did throughout the whole entire week. See, this was a 10-minute trade. Just me expecting price to reject off of the support zone on the downtrend, creating a double bottom. But if you do look at it, there's a double top up there, which created the downtrend, which created the bearish trend. I expected price to reverse here. I speeded it up for y'all so you didn't have to watch that whole 10 minutes of it sitting there. But as you can see, price went up twice, almost pushed back up at the end, but overall it did go downwards. So I'm just checking out what we did for the week. I think we was 14-4 on the week. So don't be afraid to get back to the basics. Follow your strategy. We're going to continue with the momentum. Continue with there's nothing better than being positive. Having positive results from what you're doing. That builds the confidence. So keep doing that. Y'all going to continue to be successful. Y'all know the rest though. Until then, make sure y'all stack it up. Stay blessed. Appreciate you for watching.